AA Best Bail Bonds big game coverage live from Miami.
It's the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason, I'm Rob, sitting live from Radio Row. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage continues. You're going to hear the voice, you're going to see the face. You recognize him, Will Cain. He's our opening act every afternoon.
I'm glad to do it. I hope it set the table nice for you.
Well,
guys.
actually, you know what? You set the table.
I just told him we're doing
you
our
steal
prep.
our show. I do. Right? Like we'll have our show planned. We'll go in and then like some of the topics we're planning, you're doing. Like we had this discussion in the office without the show being on, your show being on. You know, we're in the office getting ready, and then it's like, damn, he's still in our show again. But I think that's when you
great minds, man.
When you've got
exactly. Let's all compliment each other.
When you've got a national guy. That is a Cowboy guy.
Right.
I guess the thought process is the same. When are they going to pay Dak? Should they pay Dak? What the hell's wrong with Garrett? It's all there.
But here's the thing. I'm going to take this as a compliment to both of us, because here's one thing I think about this business. This is about preparation. Like, how are we going to talk about sports? How are we going to talk about it interestingly? What are we going to say? I know that we put a lot of time into our show, pre-show, saying how are we going to do it and what are we going to do it. And if we're arriving at the same place, thousands of miles apart, maybe that's a sign we're doing it decently. I don't know.
Also, I think you bring the same mentality we do down in San Antonio. You're a Texas guy.
Right.
I mean, you've spent time in Austin. You know, I'm not going to mention that school, but you've spent time there.
Why? Well, you Aggie or something?
Hook 'em, right?
And and to take it even further, your daddy's a judge, right? Or,
he was a lawyer.
And my daddy's an attorney. I grew up in a family of attorneys. I think we look at things the same way.
For sure. I grew up at the dinner table debating almost everything.
So did we.
I remember my dad having a huge debate with me because I told him, who knows what grade this was, that McDonald's had the best hamburgers. And he was so highly offended by that proposition. He said, have you ever had, and start talking about homemade burgers, and then you put this on or that on. He just couldn't believe his son would say something so sacrilegious. So we debated that until, whatever the car ride was, got home. But that's the way it was, and I loved it. By the way, can you guys let's talk Texas for a minute. You're an Aggie. I'm a Horn. Jason, I don't know what.
Horn, T-shirt fan, but Horn.
Okay. How is it? We're in a place where the Longhorns and the Aggies aren't even in the top 2 sports programs in the state of Texas. Right now, both Baylor and I think you would have to say Texas Tech and maybe TCU have legitimate claims to being better at the big sports, football, basketball, baseball.
When Art Briles had RG3 and you saw what the Baylor basketball team was doing, there was a time where Baylor was probably the best overall athletic program, and then TCU. And you're like, what the hell is going on with that? And nothing's changed. I mean, Texas hasn't been able to get there. A&M hasn't been able to get there. There's been coaching changes. Shaka needs to go now, to do something with that basketball program as they get ready to move into that new building. But it's a different world, and it's strange.
It's really strange. And all the money in the world at your disposal,
right.
Everything you could ever want. And you can't be – and look, like every Texan, I have a family member that went to every single school, including TCU, Tech, Baylor. Not A&M. That's the one.
Well, maybe next generation will do better.
But so they all get bragging rights, but I just don't understand it. Why is what Matt Rule did at Baylor in a short time? I mean, well,
there's nothing wrong with any of these programs that more money can't prolong. You know, let's just keep chunking money at it, and eventually they'll hit a bullseye.
Right.
And think about Patrick Mahomes.
Yes,
Sunday is going to be the first quarterback from a Texas university to start in a Super Bowl.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
There's only been 3. Drew Brees and Nick Foles of Texas high school quarterbacks that have been to
But you're talking about Texas college.
But they went to college outside of the state of Texas. Right. They both Austin Westlake guys, but left. So Patrick Mahomes will be the first Texas high school quarterback that went to a Texas university to start in the Super Bowl.
What a shame.
Isn't that crazy? Now, running backs, man, that list is 8 pages long.
I had to go down and look, and I thought, well, maybe the old team, Sammy Baugh, the old.
Yeah, that wasn't a Super Bowl.
Right. So
it's an incredible.
It's a good bar joke.
Stat and indictment all in one.
It is good bar trivia. I'm going to throw that down someday.
Well, see, again,
it defies logic.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll hear it
Well,
on
I
the
saw
show
in your
before
show
we
rundown.
say, yeah.
You've got Oliver Luck, I think, on the show today.
Yeah, we do, and we'll talk.
You can ask
some
him about how
XFL.
Texas missed out on one of the great quarterbacks.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Coming out of spring the way that he did. Absolutely. You can recognize the voice, now you see the face, and if you're watching him on TV every day, it's Will Cain joining us here on the Blitz. Will, it's been a pleasure watching you do the show that you do.
Thank you.
Because you are on a cutting edge of a new wave, a new style of radio. You really are.
You think so?
I do. The way that you approach topics is not an old school way at all. And the perspective that you bring, I think it's from your news background too, kind of comes in. It's a very enjoyable, intelligent talk radio
Oh,
show.
man, I can't tell you how flattered I am. Seriously. I take radio seriously. I think a lot of people treat this industry, this business, especially when you get to ESPN. I'm going to tell you, I was walking the hallways the other day with the guy, that runs affiliates, and they said made a joke about TV.
That Martindale guy?
Yeah, exactly, Martindale.
Jeez,
And he made a joke about TV. I said, I don't want to be on I mean, I'll do TV, but I'm not. Radio is not a platform to get to somewhere else for me. This is the platform through which my sports fandom was cultivated.
Right.
I grew up outside of Dallas, Texas, listening to, honestly, Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket.
The Ticket. We all did. Yeah.
We all did. And this was my prism into sports. This is what that and reading the newspaper back in the day. But TV was a passive watch. It washed over you. It wasn't how I connected to anybody. And so I take radio very seriously. I consider it a real relationship with the audience. And if I can do anything close to what you just said, Robert, which I really appreciate, then I'm proud.
Absolutely. Thank you
Well,
very much.
and the prep work that goes into it, the topics can be easy. Yeah, let's do this.
Right.
But how do you approach the topic? And you could tell in your research that you guys are doing a lot of topic development.
I would like to think, I hope it's two things. It's putting the work into how to talk about it, and like you just said, in a different, unique, smart way. But I don't know exactly what you were talking about, Robert, when you said cutting edge of sports or what's changing. My opinion is that the public's BS meter has never been higher, at least when it comes to media. So they're constantly asking themselves, is this person being real or authentic? Are they playing me? And because there's so many different options out there in new media and whatever it may be, they can see and feel different things to know what is true. So my only promise to the audience is I 100% want to be real and authentic with you. You don't have to like what I say. You don't have to agree with me. But I think I said this earlier, I think it's the audible, the version of looking somebody in the eye.
Absolute truth.
And
Absolute truth.
I'll look you in the eye, and you can tell me if you disagree, and I'll do the same, and we're going to be able to have a beer afterwards.
Absolute truth. Will Cain sitting in with us here on the Blitz, and you'll hear him every day tomorrow, right before we come on as well. You are, like I said, our opening act. All right, well, let's talk a little football. Looking toward the game, I love the way you've broken down Mahomes over the last couple of weeks, looking exactly what he does. I still believe that the 49ers D is going to be good enough to slow him down. I'm not sure they're going to win the football game, but everybody's talking high score. You're a high score proponent too on this, right?
I'm moving. Yes. So I'm going to make my pick tomorrow on the Will Cain show. But I'm
do it now.
I've gone back and forth, Jason. But here's the thing.
Just do it now.
It's not even a radio tease. I'm struggling. Like I come out of the gates, I'm like, it's Mahomes. How do you pick against a guy who spots other teams 24 points and then next week 10 points? And then you put real effort and research into understanding that every time a good defense is in the Super Bowl, they win. And this 49ers defense is accompanied by a really overwhelming run game on the other side of the ball, which says the 49ers win. But I'm gravitating back towards I don't think I can pick against Mahomes. I think that Kansas City defense at this point is a little bit underrated. They've been good. They shut down Derrick Henry. Can they do that to the San Francisco 49ers running game? I'm moving back towards Kansas City right now.
Absolutely. Will Cain,
what's today? Thursday? I'm taking Kansas City
today's
today.
That's
exactly. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll figure it out. Will, thank you so much for stopping by. It's a genuine honor, and thank you so much for what you do for us. You're great. I mean, you build an audience, and we have to live up to your standard.
Oh man, I'm flattered. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.